you for coming to the Eagle Court of Honor for John Owen Tucker. Please stand for the presentation of the colors.
Color guard, forward march. Color guard, halt. Color guard, post the colors. Everyone please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Attention, salute, pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
2. Color guard dismissed.
Scouts, please remain standing for the scout oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, and to lead the way in worldly straight. 2. You may be seated. I would like Thomas Lippman to lead us in invocation.
Scouts Reverend. Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us together today to celebrate John Owen Tucker's achievement of Eagle Scout. His journey has been filled with challenges, growth, service, and faithfulness. Bless John Owen, his family, his fellow scouts, and his leaders who supported him along the way. Guide him as he continues to grow into the man and leader you have called him to be. Amen.
At this time, I would like Sawyer Palmer and Ariston Foster to come forward to light the law candles. As we begin this Eagle Court of Honor and examine the Trail to Eagle, it is fitting that we start with the fundamental principles of scouting, the Scout Oath and the Scout Law. We have just joined together in recruiting and reciting the Scout Oath. In scouting, as in most activities of life, there are rules. The rules of scouting are found in 12 points of the Scout Law. As a candle is lit for each point of the Scout Law, let us pay careful attention to the words and redictate ourselves to the principles contained in those words. A scout is trustworthy. A scout tells the truth. He keeps his promises. Honesty is part of his code of conduct. A scout is loyal. A scout is true to his family, friends, scout leaders, school, nation, and world community. A scout is helpful. A scout is concerned about other people. He willingly volunteers to help others without expecting payment or reward. A scout is friendly. A scout is a friend to all. He's a brother to other scouts. He seeks to understand others. He respects those with ideas and customs that are different from his own. A scout is courteous. A scout is polite to everyone, regardless of age or position. He knows that good manners make it easier for people to get along together. A scout is kind. A scout understands that there is strength in being gentle. He treats others as he wants to be treated. He does not harm or kill anything without reason. A scout is obedient. A scout follows the rules of his family, school, and troop. He obeys the laws of his community and country. If he thinks these rules and laws are unfair, he tries to have them changed in an orderly manner rather than disobey them. A scout is cheerful. A scout looks for the bright side of life. He cheerfully does tasks that come his way. He tries to make others happy. A scout is thrifty. A scout works to pay his way and to help others. He saves for the future. He protects and conserves natural resources. He carefully uses time and property. A scout is brave. A scout can face danger even if he is afraid. He has the courage to stand for what he thinks is right, even if others laugh at him or threaten him. A scout is clean. A scout keeps his body, mind, fit, and clean. He goes around with those who believe in living by these same ideals. He keeps his home and community clean. A scout is reverent. A scout is reverent toward God. He is faithful in his religion and religious duties. He respects the beliefs of others. All right.
This is the voice of the eagles whose heights you struggled to reach. We remember well when you first came to the base of the cliff and how you looked up with ambition and determination. Look back for a moment. Look Look back over the cliff you have climbed. Look back at the experience you've encountered in your ascent. These experiences should not be forgotten, and you should profit by making sure that the adverse ones do not occur again. Experience is a valuable teacher if you heed its teachings. Do you remember when you took your first step upon the trail to become an eagle? All the while you were on the trail, we watched you study and we watched you learn by doing. First, you were only a scout. With that first step, you began to grow physically, mentally, and morally. You started living the scout oath and law, and soon you would attain the tenderfoot rank. Once inspired by the spirit of scouting, you did not stay at tenderfoot for long. Putting simple achievements behind you, you quickly climbed to the rank of second-class scout. Some, like you, were stopping to catch their breath before continuing along the trail. You began to study more, you worked harder, and almost before you knew it, you topped the first summit on the trail to Eagle when you received the first-class badge. There you found a tempting green meadow by a crystal clear stream bathed in the sun. Here you were tempted to remain. Yes, you could have remained there to live the first-class glory, but your ambition stirred you on. We remember your advancement to Star Scout. The trail from first class to star rank was not as difficult as it had seemed. This spurred you on, and again you climbed farther. The trail was steeper and less worn. Fewer scouts seemed to be headed in your direction. You looked down and saw the crowds below you. You looked up and saw a few above you, and with the same determination with which you started your climb, you continued up the trail. Gaining the next summit was not easy. Much leadership, service, and hard work had to be done. Soon you earned the badge of life rank. While the Life Scout is a much coveted position and deserves much credit, the Eagle Trail does not stop there. It still leads on to the summit. Its pathway narrows and steepens considerably as it winds its way along the narrow edge. It becomes tougher and more trying. Many things had to be done in order to conquer these last miles. Additional merit badges were earned. Your leadership and service to others were tested through your Eagle Service Project. Only those with the greatest amount of persistence and courage are able to gain this thrill of victory. You were on your way to Eagle. Eagle candidate John Owen Tucker, you may now light the Eagle candle. This is the voice of the Eagle. I am the Eagle. Since the beginning of time, man has used me and my brothers as a symbol of royalty, power, victory, and valor. My strength and courage have inspired men throughout the ages. I am the Eagle. I am prepared to stand for the virtues of freedom, strength, and pride. I am the Eagle. I am prepared to serve my God, my country, and my fellow man. I am the Eagle. I am prepared to stand for honesty, truth, and integrity. I am the Eagle. I am prepared to lead others and to accomplish set tasks to the best of my ability. I am the Eagle. I am prepared to cross all lines of race, creed, and nationality. be self-reliant and resourceful. I am the eagle. I am prepared. Yes, we've watched your character unfold and become more manly. We've watched your leadership expand into a valuable asset. We've watched your mind develop and your wisdom increase. We've all watched all these things in you, and now that you're on the threshold of your goal, we welcome you, for you have done your climbing in a true scout manner.
Dismissed.
The awarding of the Eagle Badge is an important and serious occasion, the climax and the goal for which a scout works many years, an occasion for pride and joy, and a time for serious contemplation. It is the culmination of efforts of the various leaders of this scout. The Eagle Award is the highest and most coveted rank in scouting, the last major step in advancement program. Fewer than 4% of all scouts in the United States reach the rank of Eagle. At this point, we trust you have achieved our purpose in the building of character, training of leadership, and the practice of service. Careful examination has been made by the court as to the qualifications of this applicant for the Eagle Scout Award. Mr. John Owen Tucker, proficiency in various crafts and skills prescribed for the Eagle rank has been checked. And the records of merit badges earned by the Scout have been approved and certified by the counselors appointed by the court. The Scout has qualified on the basis of merit badge achievement. Eagle candidate John Owen Tucker has earned 63 merit badges. He has demonstrated capacity and willingness to exert leadership ability in activities that are constructive and worthwhile in the community. The record has been checked in troop leadership, school affairs, and other fields of work and service. He has demonstrated loyalty and duty to God and country. We believe him qualified to receive the rank of Eagle Scout. I would like to introduce Scoutmaster Matt Sheffield and Scoutmaster Emeritus Richard Sides to present the Eagle Award.
Thank you, Ron. John Owen. Thank you, Richard. It's a pleasure to be able to present this with Richard's help. Scouting's not a sprint, right, John Owen? It's a marathon. And I've been in this marathon with this young man for quite a while. He's in the same patrol as my oldest son, so I've had the pleasure of watching him grow. When we first met him is when we come over into the Cub Scouts here actually at Mission when 202 used to meet here. So kind of special to see you get to this point, John Owen. But as Ron said, the Eagle Scout is the pinnacle. It is a badge that represents all the ideals of scouting, but the badge is just a material thing. What really represents the ideals of scouting is the person who carries that badge and that medal with them, which is now you as an Eagle Scout to carry out into the world. Similar to, it says in the good book, don't put your light under a bushel basket. You let your light shine. You let your eagle be known too when you go outside into the world. So a little bit about John Owen's Eagle Project. John Owen demonstrated a vision, quite a good vision, and some leadership and determination to carry out his vision, which was to build an orienteering course at Locust Park, actually in honor of Scout Emeritus Richard Sides. So if you go over to the park, you should see a sign. The sign is up now, right? Okay. That says that it's the orienteering course, and you can get some compasses and a map, and you can go try your hand orienteering. But part of what John Owen's vision there was to set up an orienteering course that was pretty local to where our scouts meet, because a lot of these younger scouts have to learn how to orienteer, which is a useful skill, right? Because sometimes your phone don't always work. We tend to get in places like that, I think intentionally when we're in scouting. But it's a good skill, and it's a skill that these boys now, that are in the younger patrols, can go just right down the road from where we meet at now at Locust and get to an orienteering course in a matter of just a
couple minutes, depending on how quickly you can get out on 24/27, of course. But John Owen, that was quite the vision. I was very impressed when you brought that idea forth to me, and you carried it out seamlessly. I always like to say that no plan ever survives first contact, and that's probably what happened with John Owens. But the thing with John Owens is he would just fix it. He wouldn't come to me and say, well, what do I do now, Matt? He would come back and say, well, Matt, this happened, and this is what I did. So I was very impressed with that he was able to take the plan and shift it to whatever needed to happen, because I believe we had to move a couple of monuments that didn't quite get where we wanted them to. And actually, I think one of them was one that I helped you put in. We uncovered an electrical line. It was pretty fun and exciting. Not as exciting as it could have been, but luckily I was the one that was leading. But John Owen, you did an excellent job of that. And as you see on John Owen's merit badge sash, he's been very, very dedicated scout, earning 63 merit badges. I think I got that count right. I only got 10 fingers, so it was kind of, had to reset a couple times. But he's been diligent. He went to Philmont, which I won't steal the thunder of the next guy that's going to come up and talk soon, but he went out there and I think had a quite enjoyable time backpacking, and he went on a Utah trip with us, and we went out and saw some bears in Yellowstone a while back too. So although John Owen, I think, tried to call the bears in when we were sleeping. He blamed it on Elijah, but Elijah blamed it on him. I don't know which one it was. Somebody was very tired. But all in all, we had fun, right? And we brought everybody back, which was good. So with that, John Owen, I'll ask you to go bring your parents up. We'll get down to business. I'm going to pass this over now to Scoutmaster Richard Sides to present the award.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Matt. And thank you for all being here on this special day. And it's a wonderful occasion to be here back in Mission Church, where we unfortunately should be forever, but that didn't work out. So we're having a joyful time to be here, and appreciate all of you coming. But I want to give you some background as to why I'm standing up here, because I have known this family for essentially ever, and his grandparents sitting back here I've known for more than ever. His grandmother Reva grew up in this White House right here, and beside the church. And Cindy and me grew up. Our first house after our wedding was right back here in the White House across the street. So we have a home here, and it's a wonderful time to be here. And another really accolade and attention getter is this young man over here that's now taller than me. I was one time holding him as a baby because I spent time at their house. Grew up being at their house sometimes with Reva's brother, who unfortunately passed away a few weeks ago. But I was holding him up here, and he was going all crazy, and I was in a rocking chair, rocking back and forth, a wooden rocking chair. And he did his first gymnastics event. He flipped over right out of my hands, landed on a hardwood floor right behind me. I'm gasping louder than Reva and Richard are. But nonetheless, he survived. And if you ever see him with a little twitch or something, you know where that came from. But I just wanted to give that connection, and I really am honored by them inviting me to be here. And it's a wonderful opportunity to see John Owen get his eagle, and no one more worthy of having it than he is. And his service project is wonderful because it used to be at my house, a 5-mile compass course. Each patrol would come over to my house, and we'd do it on a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday. And it's out on the neighbor's farm and pasture and fields. We had to always make sure we got it done before crops came up and the corn got 5 feet high or something like that. You couldn't see where you were going. So it's good that they have a force now that they can rely on basically any time of the year and weather. But let's get down to why we're here, right? You ready? So I'm going to let Greg, if he would, pin the neckerchiefs, remove his own neckerchief and pin the slide that's glued on, please. for each 5 merit badges you earn beyond the 21 that are required for Eagle. And John Owen, of course, with this many merit badges, has earned all the palms. So I'll let Greg pin one on and we'll let him for him. It's been good of him. One kind of over time, so we understand. First one's bronze, the second one is gold. Greg, you get to do silver, which is the highest one in Scouting. Silver's higher than gold. And the Eagle Scout gets the honor of being able to pin an Eagle Award medallion and medal on to their parents. So if you would pin this on your mother, please. No stabbing or jabbing. And now the dad pin. With that being done, I present to you Eagle Scout John Owen Tucker. With that being said, I'll turn it back to the real workers here.
John Owen also gets a very rare occurrence of an actual certificate. We had a Eagle ceremony last week for Ethan Tarleton, and he didn't get his yet, so you've got yours. You take the stand and go by one. And pocket card, keep your wallet, and last but not least, you get this nice Eagle statue for him to display in your office one day. So get your name engraved on there, and maybe take that piece of styrofoam off the side that I didn't get. But I present to you again, John Owen Tucker, Eagle Scout. Put it out. You got your badge. Wear it till you're 18, and then you'll wear the knob and come back and get it. Awesome. You can escort your haircut. Come back. All right. One last thing that I've got for you, John Owen, and you thought it was it, right? You thought I was done. Now that you are an Eagle Scout, there comes responsibility with that, right? So I'm going to deliver to you what's known as the Eagle Scout Charge, which is a tradition, long-standing, and when Eagles pass that bar and becomes, spread their wings and soar as an Eagle Scout would. So I challenge you to accept the responsibilities that accompany the Eagle Scout badge. Your training, your experiences as a scout have prepared you to live as a responsible, honorable, and contributing citizen. As an Eagle Scout, you'll be looked upon as a leader. That could be a vocal leader or even a quiet leader. Talked about those things, right? And you're experienced by living by the Scout law and the Scout oath in your daily life. Lead by example, serve with integrity, and use your moral compass. We know that it is oriented the right way, right? You made an orienteering course and you have a good moral compass, so make sure not to go in the wrong direction and guide others in the right direction. There are many that are out there that need that. They need that support to go in the right direction. Continue to seek knowledge and understanding. And remember, not everyone will always agree with you, but you know how to overcome that. Be persistent and do the right thing, right? So I challenge you to use your skills and your influence to build a better world. And whatever you do, remember that your actions now not only reflect yourself and your parents, but they also reflect on the Boy Scouts of America, and Troop 202, and all Eagle Scouts. And John Owen, my parting words are, remember, once an eagle, always an eagle. And you don't tell people, I was an eagle. When you meet someone, you say, I am John Owen Tucker, or maybe your adult name, John Tucker, right? We talked about that. Emphasis on John. Say, I am an Eagle Scout. I was an Eagle Scout. Okay? Be proud of that. Do you accept those responsibilities?
I do.
Awesome. Congratulations, John Owen. And with that, you get to stand up here a little bit longer in the light, and we'll turn it back over to Ron.
I would like to invite Mark Watson to come forward and share some remarks.
No, probably not. But I will stand over here. So I make notes, because I can't do this without my notes, but it's not actually 2 pages, I just have really big type so that I can see it. So I keep this, I wrote this script so I could remember what I wanted to say, but I'll be honest, I'm going to go off script for just a second. There were a few things I heard about you being persistent, about getting 63 merit badges, when you hit obstacles in your Eagle project, you didn't come with problems, you came with solutions. And I'll tell you, the time that I've spent around John Owen, every one of those things I could have predicted. 63 merit badges is impressive. I don't even know how many merit badges are available. How many did you not get? I'm just curious. So, anyway, I'll get started. Good afternoon, Troop 202, friends and family of John Owen. I'm honored to have a couple of minutes to reflect on his journey through Troop 202 and on his trail to Eagle. Although I wasn't in his patrol, I was able to assist with a couple of merit badges along the way, and I had the absolute pleasure of going to Philmont Scout Ranch with John Owen and some of his peers. When I began thinking about what to say that might surprise people, it was really difficult because John Owen is one of the most genuine young men around, and I'm sure that those of you that know him know that. And all that he does, he is consistent, he's persistent, he's hardworking, and I suspect that you all know that. So instead of trying to surprise you all or get a couple of laughs, let me just say to his parents, you've raised a great young man, and to his scout family, be proud that you were a part of his journey. It will come as no surprise that John Owen is not a man of many words. In Philmont, he never appeared to be the one leading the circus of boys. Most of the time, he was so quiet you would hardly know he was there. But if you watched the crowd, you'd learn that he was a silent partner in all of the shenanigans. So perhaps this may be the thing that some of you may not know. John Owen is a joker. He's the one whispering, not making a scene. He's keeping his composure as if oblivious to the uproar of which he was probably the master. I caught a couple of these moments at Philmont, some even on camera, but if you weren't paying attention, you would think he was the innocent bystander. You had to watch closely to learn that he is hilarious. He is a hilarious joker, but never out of line and always respectful. Aside from the antics, John Owen had the same quiet, determined approach to all that he tackled, whether it was finishing merit badges or hiking to the top of Baldy. He always had a knack for being able to put his head down and get the work done, rarely complaining. In fact, he complained so little that if he did share a negative opinion about something, I listened carefully. No one was happy to learn when we had taken a wrong
turn on a trail one day and hiked up the wrong mountain. Maybe that's why he wanted to do an orienteering more. We weren't lost, we just weren't where we were supposed to be. John Owen never let it seem to bother him. Amidst all the other complaining, he just took it in stride and stayed consistent in his attitude. So I hope you're proud of your accomplishments and your experiences. Stay true to who you are, consistent, persistent. Mom and Dad, you have a fine young man, earning his Eagle Scout rank today. Thank you, John Owen, for allowing me to be a part of your Scout.
And now I'd like to invite Charles Osborne to share a couple of remarks.
All right. So last week I got to speak on Ethan, and I get to speak on this one. And I'm going to start off with saying, still what I was going to say again. So at Yellowstone, we were always worried about the bears, because they were literally in a bear management area when we camped. And they told us, hey, there's a bear that's really roaming around the edge of your campsite because she's got a carcass. So the boys are already on edge. So the first couple of nights, we slept okay, a little fearful. And a couple of nights in, this one, and I'm not sure if it was this one, but it sounded like a bear. And it was bad. I mean, like, what in the hell? So I woke up in the middle of the night going, is there a bear in the campsite? Because they have the adults on the outside, the kids are on the middle of the tents to kind of keep them safe, right? Couldn't figure out where it was coming from. So we're all talking about it, giggling and laughing, and the next morning, and all of a sudden the next night, he does it again. Like, what in the heck is that? So I started figuring out which tent it's coming from, and I asked Caden. He goes, oh, it was Jago. I kept nudging him, but he wouldn't wake up. But you might need some help with that sleep stuff. Right? But Jago's been one of my kids since we started from real little here at Mission. When I was out waiting on Caden, I remember we used to do a trash walk around the church for a merit badge, and it just brought back memories of where we started, where we got here. So I'm proud, I'm honored you asked me to speak. But I'm going to go to the little giggle part. So I was teaching a badge, and thank you to Richard Sides for doubling it, pubic health, I believe. It's called public health at the time. And for some reason, this guy giggled when you say a certain word outside of garlic, right? I'm not going to giggle because the other one back there is giggling. But every time you started talking about the STD part, the first word in that S, this one would turn red and giggle like I've never seen before in my life. Right, kind of like that, right? And of course, Elijah's in there giggling, so is Brett. But this one, he ain't so innocent now. He's very loud when we did it. So, but I am proud to be being here, bud. 63 merit badges. We worked our butt off to get some of those. Been on every trip with you, except for Philmont, which I hate I missed, but it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
I would now like to give the opportunity, but no obligation, if J.O.'s parents would like to come up and say any words.
He's speaking from the dome, you can do it again.
All right. Then I invite you to share your remarks.
All right, so I'm going to be honest, I completely forgot to write a speech, so we're going to have to go off the dome here. It's unreal to be here. I mean, I've been in Scouts for 10 years, 11, so it's crazy. I've met some great people, and I've been some incredible places that I never would have even known about if I wasn't in Boy Scouts. It's really been a great experience. Alright, so a part of every Eagle ceremony is you get a pin or more to pin on the leader or leaders that you think have helped you the most throughout the ceremony. So I've got two today. While you're already up here. I'd like to pin the first one on Matt Sheffield. my second one, I'd like to call up Charles Osborne. Again, I'd like to thank everyone that has been here for my scouting journey. Thank you.
All right. I'd like to.
Yeah, you keep it. So, years ago, I don't know who did it, but they started this gifting for Eagle Scout parents would get this, a gift for their scout. So John Owen's been quizzing his sister, and his sister told him that we got him a dog that was going to be at home, and then his grandma and grandpa were supposed to bring the dog. We didn't get you a dog. So John Owen has taken an affinity for golf, so straight from the Scotty custom shop, a Newport 2 Eagle Scout edition. You can have it back on. Thank y'all, all the leaders. Charles has done a yeoman's effort dragging him from Cub Scouts and trips all over the world. So Tim, Matt, everybody, all you guys, Eli, Caden, all you guys that have been here from day one, we do appreciate it. Y'all do it. Somebody said at an early, it might have been one of Chad Whitney's sons' first Eagle Scout ceremonies, and John Owen got to participate, and they talked about how it is absolutely, and a long time, it might have been Megan, I remember Megan talking about it too, that it's back then it was every Monday, every weekend, and it turned into every Tuesday, every weekend. So you guys don't stop. You guys keep going, and you can be up here too.
And one last thing before we close, I invite Richard Sides up to share a few remarks.
Matt, if you'll come up here, please. So, for those of you who don't know me, I was a Scoutmaster of Troop 202 for 20 years. There came a time that it was time for me to retire and step aside, and we tried to decide who it was going to be. We went through several ideas over the years, and we settled on Matt Sheffield as being the Scoutmaster to take my place. And I just wanted to commend him right here in front of all of you for his wonderful job, carrying on to what had been built with all the Scoutmaster and Assistant Scoutmaster work in our past, and turning over to him and the new Assistant Scoutmasters that are here now and carrying on the torch. But the torch is in great hands, and I just want to thank and commend Matt Sheffield for his part of it.
Just try not to keep the ship going in the right direction. You know, Richard had it set to that right moral compass, and I'm just trying to hold that heading. And like you said, and I think even Greg alluded to this, it's not me, it's everybody in this room, even the ones without tan uniforms on. It takes literally a village in a community, and we have great support from everybody in Western Stanley County and beyond. So it's all about these boys at the end of the day. And as I always remind our leaders in the tan uniform, it's only an hour and a half a week, right? So we joke about that. But thank you, Richard. Thank you for what you started. It's a wonderful thing, and the youth need it. So thank you.
Thomas Lemon, would you please close us in prayer?
Scouts Reverend. God, our Creator and Father, we thank you for the gift of scouting, for guiding John Owen Tucker to the rank of Eagle Scout. Bless his mentors, friends, and family who have supported him along the way. Continue to lead John and all of us here to live by the Scout oath and law. We serve you, our country, and others with strength, wisdom, and integrity. We ask your blessing on the food and fellowship we share today, and on the hands that prepare it. May this food nourish our bodies, as the service has nourished our spirit. Amen.
Thank you for coming to celebrate with us today. This Eagle Court of Honor is adjourned. Please join us for our reception, but scouts and leaders, please wait for a photo here. Thank you.